Once upon a time, an old man and his son ran a small roadside hotel, miles from the nearest town. Their primary guests were weary businessmen passing through. One dark evening, for such businessmen, exhausted from their journey, arrived at the inn, hoping to spend the night. To their dismay, the old man had to inform them that every room was taken. The businessmen, too tired to travel any further, pleaded with him to find any place, no matter how humble, for them to rest their heads. The old man, feeling a pang of sympathy, explained that the only available space was a storage shed. He then, with a heavy heart, revealed that his son had gone to town to purchase a coffin, as his son's wife had recently and unexpectedly passed away. Her body, he explained, was temporarily laid in the shed. To the old man's surprise, the businessmen, desperate for rest, assured him they were unfazed by the presence of the deceased. So, with a nod, the old man led them to the shed. Inside, the space was divided into two areas. In the smaller section, a dim light flickered on a table. Behind it, shielded by a cloth curtain, lay the woman's body, covered with a thin paper covering. The old man then guided the four weary travelers to the larger room, where a wide, flat platform was connected to several wooden beds, offering a makeshift place to sleep. The four businessmen, utterly exhausted, collapsed onto the makeshift beds and immediately fell into a deep sleep. However, after a short while, one of them, still caught in a hazy slumber, was disturbed by a soft, rustling noise emanating from the small room where the deceased woman lay. He cautiously lifted his head and, in the dim light, his eyes widened in terror. The dead body was lifting the paper covering and slowly getting down from the wooden board. With a waxy yellow face and a scarf wrapped around her forehead, the woman moved deliberately towards their room. She approached the four sleeping figures and began to blow a cold breath upon each guest, one by one. The awakened man, paralyzed with fear, quickly hid his head under his quilt, holding his breath and listening intently. He waited until he felt the woman retreat to her room and heard the rustling sound again before cautiously peeking his head out, looking around to confirm she had returned to her previous position. He stealthily nudged his companion's foot, desperate to wake him, but received no response. Deciding he couldn't stay, he began to put on his clothes. Just as he was dressing, the rustling sound returned. He immediately threw himself back down, burrowing his head under the quilt. The female ghost came back, this time blowing on each guest more times than before. After that she returned to her board. Seizing his chance, the man frantically pulled on his pants and, without even bothering with his shoes, dashed towards the door. The female ghost, alerted by the sudden movement, got up and ran after him. The man ran, yelling at the top of his lungs, but his cries were swallowed by the night. The inn's other guests slept soundly. He considered knocking on the old man's door but feared the ghostly woman would catch him. Instead, he burst out of the inn and fled down the road leading to town. As he reached the eastern outskirts of town, he spotted a temple and heard the soothing sounds of chanting Buddhist scriptures drifting from within. Desperate, he pounded urgently on the temple door. The monk inside, startled by such an unusual visitor at that hour, didn't open it immediately. The man's terror intensified as the female ghost closed in, mere yards behind him. A large poplar tree stood outside the temple's door, and he instinctively hid behind it, using its thick trunk as a shield. The female ghost attacked left, he dodged right, she attacked right, he dodged left. The female ghost, consumed by a furious rage at being unable to catch the man, finally halted. She stood still, while the man, gasping for breath, remained hidden behind the tree. Both were utterly exhausted. Suddenly, with a powerful, sweeping motion, she flung her arms wide. Her reach extended around the tree, and she lunged at the man. The man swiftly dodged backward, narrowly escaping her grasp. The female ghost, however, had put so much force into her attack that her nails became deeply embedded in the poplar tree's trunk. And there, shockingly, she stiffened instantly, trapped and unmoving. The monk, who had been listening intently to the commotion outside, emerged from the temple once silence fell. He found the man lying on the ground, seemingly lifeless. Discovering a faint breath, the monk carried him inside, laid him on a bed, and offered him water. After a while, the man awoke and, with trembling voice, recounted his horrifying ordeal to the monk. The following morning, the monk ventured outside the temple and indeed confirmed the woman was a ghost, still stuck in the tree. Terrified, he immediately went to the local magistrate to report the incident. The magistrate dispatched a group of officials to the temple. Upon examining the scene, they found the ghost's 4 fingers on each hand bent like hooks, her nails deeply embedded in the poplar trunk. With great effort, they managed to pull the spectral woman from the tree, revealing numerous deep holes in the trunk, as if made by sharp drills. Simultaneously, the magistrate sent another group to the inn. There, they found the innkeepers in shock. The other 3 businessmen were all dead, and the deceased woman's body was missing from the shed. The official informed the old man of the chilling events and instructed him to go to the temple to claim his daughter-in-law's body. The surviving businessman, tears streaming down his face, lamented to the magistrate.
"We 4 set out together, but now only I am alive. How will anyone back home believe what I tell them?"
Understanding his plight, the magistrate provided him with an official testimony, proving the dreadful incident had truly occurred.